Okay, I think we are being recorded at this moment. If everybody can just like hop up there and mute yourself, I'm going to introduce Nancy. She is going to lead us tonight in our Zoom. This is Pace Setters week number 5. I am so thrilled about this, you guys. Nancy is like my Mary Kay mama, and she pours into me. She believes in us and believes in our goals and our hopes and our dreams, and just she's been in the company. Nancy, I'm sorry to say, I don't know how many years. You'll have to let us know how many years you've been in the company, and has accomplished so much over her years. And I'm just feel very blessed that you are my Mary Kay mama, and I just love and adore you so much. And so Nancy is teaching us tonight about the different personality styles. She is John Maxwell certified. If y'all know who John Maxwell is, you know that that is a big deal. If you don't, then go find out who John Maxwell is and grab a couple of his books, because he's amazing. Great with leadership and just really being able to guide. And so, Nancy, I am absolutely thrilled that you're training us tonight, and I'm just going to turn it over to you.
Thank you.
Hi, you're welcome.
I'm excited to be with you, and I could go on and on about your beautiful Christy, but I know how you all know how amazing she is, and as much fun as it is for me to pour into her, she helps me think bigger, dream bigger, and believe bigger than I ever thought that I could. So I'm very grateful for that, and I'm excited to be with you guys tonight. I sent you a little piece of paper that I wanted you to print. Was everybody able to get one of these? Did you find them? Yes, no, maybe? No, didn't come? Okay, Christy's saying yes. Brianna says yes. Okay. If you have one of these, great. If not, observe as we go. It should have come in your email so that you could actually practice this. And this is just for an example for you to be able to follow. So the first thing that I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and open up my, I'm going to do a PowerPoint, okay? Can you see it? I can't see you. Okay, Christy, what happened there?
Did you do the screen share?
Where do I do that? Screen share. Yes.
At the bottom.
But I forgot to do it right. Now I got it.
Okay. Okay, now we can see it.
Okay, now I need to find the right one. Come on. Okay, why is it not there? Oh, this is not.
Sometimes it plays tricks on you. I mean, it's done that to me before.
All right, well, here I am. I practiced this. Come on. Oh, I'm not going to be frustrated. I refuse.
No, absolutely not. And actually, sometimes what I've done is gone in and closed out all the windows that I had open, all the programs that I had open, and just opened the specific one. So if you want to stop share on the screen sharing and then find the one that you're looking for.
Well, it's right here. I just can't get it to open the way I want it to.
Okay.
I don't know. Where is it? There we go. I think I may have found it. I want to open it. Oh, gosh, this is frustrating.
It's okay. It's okay. It's going to be fun.
It's driving me crazy. I practiced this like 20 times. It should be working. So why is it not working? Open, maybe? Oh, yay. Okay.
Oh, there it is. Yay.
Woohoo. See, you too can be highly successful at anything in Mary Kay. You do not have to be a computer whiz. Thank God. Okay. This is me. My personality type is a DIS. How many of you guys know anything about personalities, the DISC model? Anyone? Kind of, sort of? Do you know what you are? Yes. Okay, Christy, what are you?
I'm an ID.
Okay, very good. I would have thought you were a DI.
Well, according to DISC, I always score almost the same at a DI or ID, but I'm always just a tad bit higher in the I, and my C and my S are almost non-existent.
That's why you get so much done. As you can see, I've been in the people business. I've been in Mary Kay 27 years. I was trained by Mary Kay. So I always laughingly, jokingly say I was in Mary Kay since I was 12, because I can't be that old, right? And I found that knowing who I am helps me be the best version of myself. And communicating with others who are not like us gives us the opportunity to make it a skill set and to make it a powerful part of our communication rather than being frustrated. Does anybody find it frustrating when people aren't like you and they don't respond and you're not sure what they're thinking, and you know, they come across maybe rude or like they don't care about what you're doing? Most of those things can be eliminated just by understanding their personality. Now, that doesn't mean that they aren't rude, because they might be, but it makes it easier for us to deal with them. Okay, where do I go to next? Come on. There we go. Today we're going to learn about yourself and others, discovering what's most important to each of us and what makes us unique, discussing the strengths of our personality, and learning how to communicate. You should have this in front of you. If you don't, you can look at the one that's on the screen. And what I want you to do is I want you to start in the upper left-hand side, and with your sheet of paper, it should look like this. I want you to, let me see if I want to put it up right. Okay. I want you to start in this corner, and you just want to go in sequential order. 1, 2, 3, and so forth. I'm going to give you about 45 seconds to do so. And so get your pen and paper if you have it. If not, you can do it on your computer screen. Just don't use magic marker. We don't want to ruin your computer screen. And I want you to just find the orders, the numbers in consecutive order. Okay, are you ready? I'm going to set the timer here. Well, I said I was. Okay, here we go. All right, on your mark, go. Got it? Start with making your numbers. We have about 20 seconds left. How you doing? Ten. Okay. So how many got up to 10? Awesome. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, Miss Amber, how many did you get? You got the only one with your hand still up. How many did you answer? How high did you get?
23.
Awesome. Give her a round of applause, guys. Yay. Okay, now what I want you to do is take that same sheet of paper, and I want you to, you'll see the little hash marks at the top, at the bottom, and on each side, okay? You should see them right here at the top. And I just want you to draw a line like so. All right. Now, you will notice that 1 is here, 2 is in the 3rd quadrant, 3 is in the 4th, and 4 is in the 4th, okay? Or 3 is in the 3rd and 4 is in the 4th. So it goes in consecutive order. So I want you, now that you know that they're in that order, I want you to do it again, and I want you to see how high your numbers can be. Okay, are you guys ready? All right, on your mark, get set, go.
Yes, I don't have time to talk. Can you call me back in about an hour?
Just real quick, if you are not muted, please mute yourself.
Okay, we've got 20 seconds. All right, stop. How many of you got 20 or more? Okay, 25, 30, 35. Okay, how many, who, I think it was you, Amber. How many did you have?
31.
31. Anybody more than 31?
I have
Okay.
35.
Who had 35?
Alana.
Ah, okay, awesome. Yay, give her a round of applause. Woohoo! Okay, the whole point of that, sharing that, was just to see that once you have, and you can see that there's an order to everything, it's much different, right? It's easy to see. You're not looking all over trying to find that one little number. Well, as you can see, we become aware of the pattern and we know what to expect. Now, when I switch this on, were you expecting to see a Dalmatian, a puppy, or a tiger? It's a wild animal, right? Because we had already preemptively created that in our mind. The same holds true for people. When we are aware of the patterns of how they communicate and how they talk and what they want and how they want us to work with them, we can prepare for them better, we can interact with them better, and we respond to them in a manner that helps them get what they want, and it makes a successful connection with us. We are in the people business, ladies. Even though we're in sales, it's all about people. Would you agree? If we don't have a great connection with people, then we are not going to be as successful in our business as we could be. Have you ever known someone who is direct? If they dive not face forward, but they dive right into projects, and they're bold and they're decisive and they're comfortable being in control, they are a D-wired personality. We'll talk about how to recognize them and how to connect with them. Some people love working with a D because they're direct and they're straightforward and they're ready to go, but they can also be a little bit overwhelming. Who do you know who is the life of the party, great at telling stories, and they always have a good joke, and they're popular? They usually have lots of girlfriends and people around them. These characteristics lead us to believe that they are I-wired. And today we'll talk about that. And for me, I'm an I, Christy's an I, and I think some of you are as well. And we'll talk about how to connect with them. Is there anyone that you know that is loyal, dedicated, doesn't seek a lot of attention? They're the backbone of the family, of your department, someone who can always be counted on to support people and projects? They are likely an S. Do we have any S's in with us today? Okay. Have you ever recognized somebody who's really neat, very tidy, organized, structured? They don't want to be in a crowd. They like things to be quiet. They're very focused on the details. They probably are a C. Oh, my little thing is not working. There we go. Oops. I was so excited I jumped 2 screens. Okay. Sorry, guys. The framework of DISC are not meant to label us or put us in a box so that we have to close the lid and this is what you are. Each of us are a combination of everything. You heard me saying that I'm a DIS. You heard Christy say that she's an ID. We are all a combination of multiple styles. I'm sure that when your children are at home and maybe out of line, you become a D very quickly. Okay, you're going to get in shape, you're going to get in line. If you have to organize something, you're going to have that C personality to get that done. But what our natural bent is of course what we want to learn about. What I'm sharing with you today isn't new. In fact, it's grounded in psychology. It's been in ancient history, and it's been developed over the years. Empedocles, a Greek philosopher in 444 BC, talked about the 4 different elements: earth, air, fire, and water. He recognized that people were different and behaved in a way that was influenced by these 4 elements. Then in 400 BC, Hippocrates developed the theory that each of us are affected by 4 internal fluids and identified them as choleric, sanguine, phlegmatic, and melancholic. And then Carl Jung, Myers-Briggs, came up with thinking, feeling, sensing, and intuition. And this was done in 1921, and this is really what we're working from. He furthered this and identified individuals' behaviors, looking at those distinct categories. And that began to identify and categorize human behavior. So even though this started back in the 400s, in 1921, we really began moving forward. William Marston, I'm sorry, I get talking and I forget to click. Okay, William Marston is the one that came up with DISC, dominance, influence, steadiness, and compliance. In 1928, he identified this theory and it became published in Emotions of Normal People. His DISC theory identified that each of us, in combination of all 4 of these categories, can connect our personality to style in varying degrees in 4 different areas. So we all have some of this within us. Throughout history, we can see the pattern of the primary behaviors have been talked about. But it wasn't until Dr. Marston developed the DISC that the formation of this into a way to recognize behavioral patterns began to emerge and began to be understood. Our personality and our behavior are shaped by 3 different things. Heredity from birth. There are direct, distinct behavioral patterns. And our environment, what's around us. Experiences, emotional things that happen to us. Developmental years have a big impact on our personality style. And of course, our role models. There are role models in our life who teach us what is valuable, may even reward us for certain behaviors in order to reinforce those behaviors. And each of those 3 factors contribute to the makeup of who we are and who we become. Using the framework of DISC, we can begin to identify some of these patterns so that we know what to expect. And if we know what to expect, then we have a strategy that we can work with in our relationships. Here's a great scenario for you. You're waiting for an elevator. As the elevator's doors open, you secretly hope that no one is inside, so you don't have to go through that awkward silence of standing in the elevator, of trying to figure out whether you should say something or whether you shouldn't. You press the button for the floor that you want, then look at the buttons, look at your shoes, look at the door, look at the floor, and you wish the elevator would just go down a little bit faster so you can make a quiet exit. Anyone relate to that? Is that you? Okay. Then you're a more reserved person. Is that correct? Okay. So same elevator, the doors open and you're curious and super excited to see who's on the other side. And the minute walk in, you say, hello, how's everybody today? And you press the button, you clear your throat, you begin to talk to everyone, ask them how their day has been, and make a joke about the weather. Who is that? Anyone? You're outgoing. Okay, is that true, friends? Yes? Okay. In the elevator example, if you're the person who doesn't want to talk to anyone, you prefer to get in, press the button, and get out of there, then that's you. All right, raise your hand. We're not going to stand up because you can't. All right, and if you are, let's see, hold on. Okay, now everyone who wants to talk to everyone in the elevator, you wave your hand. All right, so you can see that there's a very different thing for each of us. If you're planning a vacation, are you focused on what needs to get done in order to go? Mow the lawn, take the dog to the kennel, get your car serviced, line up everything that has to be done while you're out of town, make sure the hotel has Wi-Fi so you can answer your emails. Who is that? Okay, you workaholics, we love you, but you work too hard. All right. And then there's the other side. You just are on vacation. You are focused on who's going with you, what you're going to do, how much fun it's going to have, what great cute clothes you have to take with you, and you are going to have a great time. Who is that? All right. So can you see that the two different projects, exactly same thing, but two different ways to look at them? So a simple question we can discover, with just simple questions, we can discover different patterns, okay, in people's lives. Their personality, are they outgoing or are they introverted? Just watch people. You can see their body language says so much about them. And we can also discover who might be more reserved in nature and who really prefers to have quiet. Another question we can discover who must get their list of tasks done so that they can go and enjoy on vacation. So the people who have to get all of these things done so that they can go and enjoy are very different than those who are just like, let's go, let's get out of here, all right? So as we begin to understand that, we can have a better relationship with those people. If you're the person that wants the list taken care of, you are very frustrated at that person that is like, woohoo, it's vacation. Because if that's your spouse, you're the one doing all the list and they're the one sitting in there, you know, selecting what they're going to wear and where we're going to go for the party, okay? That can cause conflict. Do you agree? Yes? But when you understand that it's a part of your makeup, doesn't make it not frustrating, but it gives you a little bit different vision and you understand why they do the things that they do. We're going to save marriages. No, I'm joking. Maybe, you never know, okay? We're going to learn how these things make a difference for us today. The D's and the I's are usually more outgoing, all right? They don't mind people in the elevator. They'll talk to anyone. The C's and the S's are a little bit more reserved because they're hoping it's empty and that they really don't have to deal with anyone. Doesn't mean they can't, they just prefer not to. D's and C's are first getting things done. Then they think about people. They're making the list for vacation and checking it to see if the hotel has Wi-Fi. The I's and the S's are focused on the people, then on getting things done if there's any time left. Their vacation plans consist of lists of names and experiences they want to have while they are there. This needs to be on automatic. This is crazy. Let me give you a glimpse into each different style, okay? On the front of the page, you'll see style, all right? It's on the next page, actually. And you guys, I should have had you guys take this, but I didn't. So we'll do it this way. All right. I'm not going to do this. Okay, this is fun. This is how you will know you're working with a D. You agree to go to lunch with them and they insist on driving even if it's in your car. Anyone relate to that? A D wants control. They are decisive, they are direct, and they want results like right now. Okay? There's me. That's you? Who said that's me?
Oh, Fran, I'm sorry. Am I not on mute?
Yeah, that's good. I liked it. That was good. It's better when you get a little bit of feedback. Believe me, it's no fun to talk to quiet. All right? They thrive on control. They make very quick decisions and are direct, focused on results. Don't worry, Ds. We'll all get to your great strengths in just a minute, okay? So if you're a D, sometimes we think direct and all of that sounds negative, but it's not, okay? Think of someone in your circle of family and friends or colleagues who are fun to be with and can tell great stories that capture your attention. Does everybody know somebody like that? Okay, that person is an I. They're persuasive, spontaneous, friendly. They love to be in the center of the spotlight. It doesn't bother them to like sing and dance in front of the video camera. They think it's fun, okay? They're going to enjoy that. They're going to find great fun in that. Whereas some of us would be like, please don't take my picture. I don't want to be there, all right? And S personality is team-oriented. They follow through. They're incredibly loyal, and they accept people. They accept you who you are, as you are, just the way that God made you. They are loyal. You can always be relied upon to follow through. They are team-oriented. So you girls that are a part of a team, you're team-oriented, and you want the whole team to win. A C personality is going to be very task-oriented. They want to make sure that everything is done. If your date book looks like this, you probably have a lot of C in you, okay? Everything is color coordinated, everything is organized. Your life is done by a weekly accomplishment sheet or a weekly plan sheet. I do a weekly plan sheet, but mine does not look nice like this, okay? It's got like white out, and we got to fix this and change that, because I changed my mind. And so if you have that personality style, then you may even have labels for everything. The rest of us want to be more like you because everything always looks so good and is organized. C's are compliant. They are on time. They are analytical. They are not at all spontaneous. It's like when you ask a C personality to tell you about themselves, they usually say, what do you want me to tell you? What do you want to know? Okay. They are about 17% of the population. I forgot to, no, I didn't. Okay. A D personality. Oh, I'm sorry. Compliant, analytical, a planner. They want accurate. As you can see, they're all a part of who we are. A D seeks results. They're active, a multitasker, driven by authority, will easily take charge. They embrace change to get results, very comfortable responding to direct confrontation. They treasure loyalty. Their greatest fear is being taken advantage of. Does that resonate with our Ds? They don't want to be taken advantage of, or did our D get up? Okay. So we don't want to be taken advantage of. But our greatest strengths are that we create balance. Okay. Balance. They create an obstacle. Oh, when Ds are out of balance, I'm so sorry. When we are out of balance, we create obstacles, such as argumentative, can be inconsiderate, sometimes opinionated, not always complimentary, a little possessive, not quick to apologize, insensitive, dominant, impatient, unforgiving. Does that sound like anyone? Don't raise your hand, I don't want to know. But the good side, and we're going to go back to that, is that look at the strengths. Bold, confident, decisive, productive, strong-willed, independent, positive, persistent. Those are all great qualities. But when you know that that is your personality style, then you know that these items here can be how other people see you, and these can also be the areas that we get caught up in. This is a little video.
Thank you all for sticking with it. This has been the worst quarter in the history of the ladies scarf industry. Who knew it was going to be 80+ degree weather most days? But I have it on high authority that the new CEO of our company is going to do great things. And I give you John Smith.
All right, team. I'm a no-huddle offense kind of guy, so I'm cutting right to the chase. We're going to blitz the market with something brand new, a line of socks. They're going to make you feel as fast as Deion Sanders, but you're going to look like prime time. We've got the ball, and we're ready to take it to the house. Name. All right, you name.
It's Kim.
Karen. Can you picture this team in the red zone, ready to punch it in?
It's Kim.
I can too, Karen. I can too. That's why I've added something to sweeten the deal for everybody this quarter. That's right, my season tickets. We make gold this quarter, you're all going to tailgate with me on opening day. Now, who's got questions?
No huddle, red zone. Do they sell scarves?
Those are sports metaphors. Okay, so you're not a football fan, are you? Let me try doing this a different way. So, at my last company, we were a paper company. and I turned them into a paper and envelope company. There's a huge opportunity for us to do a ton of great things with a very similar product that complemented what we already did. And that's what I see here. You guys are a scarf company. I know you have the expertise. I've seen your work. It's going to be a bit of a stretch, but together as a team, we can take our share of the sock market too. Now, who's with me?
Okay, I think you can see who the D personality is in that video. And you can see how very poor communication skills are overwhelming. Same message, but the difference in how it was presented. And all those people sitting around the table were what? S's and C's and probably some I's. And the way he came in and presented, that's just how we can appear when we come into people if we do not think about what they need to hear and we're only thinking about what we want them to know. He was just as excited in that first portion, but very unsuccessful. So his excitement was great, but he was not successful. And it's because he wasn't communicating in a way that met everyone's skill set. I's seek friendly environment. Oops. I seek friendly environment. Oops, no, I don't want to watch that again, sorry. Emotional and animated, great storytellers, amazing encouragers, and they treasure experience with others. We loved that girlfriend time. That's what Mary Kay drew me into Mary Kay, was the girlfriends and being able to be with great people. And so obviously, and I love that. But our greatest fear is rejection. And I can't read what the next one says. So anyway, our strengths are we're persuasive, we're generous, we're charismatic, enthusiastic, friendly, talkative, comfortable in the spotlight, social, spontaneous, creative, inspiring, charming, likable, fun, and optimistic. Woohoo! Who doesn't like to be an I, right? But the obstacles, and this is how other people can often see us, is we're undisciplined and we're undependable. We can be disorganized, somewhat naive, can appear to be phony, distracted, impulsive, needing the spotlight, forgetful, doesn't care, overcommitted, talks too much, wasteful, waste time, and seeking the spotlight. So do you see how even though your heart is in the right place, this is how people can see us? And so it's really important that we know our strengths, and then we also know what can be our downfall. I found when I was working through this that there are lots of things in my personality that cause things that I don't really like. So I had to make a decision. Am I going to allow what I feel emotionally and what I think naturally to control my success? Well, of course not. So we learn to get better. Okay, I'm going to play this little video for you. And this is the I personality. So I'm going to have you guys tell me what your feedback would be on this.
Hey, Mary, got some more reports from procurement for you to process. Sort of reminds you of Office Space, huh? The movie? TPS reports? Guess you're too young for that.
Well, I was still in diapers when you were getting back into diapers.
This old geezer could probably help you with those. You know all the codes by heart. Let me know. LMK.
Sure, if I need help, I'll, you know.
I do indeed. Hey, Mary, I wonder if you could help me with something. Minecraft.
Listen, Gary, I appreciate what you're doing, but I'm not 12, and I have reports to process.
I'm just trying to get through to a friend.
Get through to a friend? You know, that's a song lyric.
Yeah, 20-pound sledge. We were down last week, you know.
Yeah, I was there. Wait, you were...
Oldest guy in the mosh pit.
Oh my gosh, you're a legend.
Try telling that to my grandkids.
know that seems like maybe it was a, oh, okay. I don't want to watch this. For me, when I watched that, I thought of that being me dealing with my kids instead of maybe different personalities. But isn't that the truth? A connector, which is who we want to be, connects with people where they are. And so if we understand that that is something that's important to them, she obviously was not an I personality, but he continued to reach out to her. He continued to try to help her. He tried to, find different ways to reach out to her, and then he connected on common ground. An S seeks a team environment. They're very loyal, easygoing and agreeable, even-paced, good listener, compassionate, treasures peaceful relationships. Greatest fear is loss of security. Their strengths are they're hard workers, team players, stable, steady, secure, sentimental. They're a saver, reserved, close friend, faithful, finds the good in people, great listener. I can't read that one. Peaceful, likes a routine, and very supportive. Who's an S? I think Alana's an S. Alana, you're an S. I'm just telling you, okay? The obstacle can be that we're too laid back, a little bit sarcastic. We don't like change. Slow pace, slow to start. We have a hard time saying no, which means we say yes to too many things. A little skeptical, a little possessive. We shut down when there's confrontation. We hate confrontation. It's like, I would rather just like melt into the floor than have a big to-do. Needs lots of reassuring. And so those are areas that when we know that's who we are, we can look at that and say, are those showing up in my life? Is that showing up in my business? Is that showing up in my relationships? And if so, then we have the opportunity to change. A C, or a compliant personality, conscientious, accurate, detail-oriented. They love perfection. I've been in Mary Kay a long time, and it used to be that when we did our orders by hand, if you did a perfect order and all your math was correct, you got like a little certificate from Mary Kay. I'm just saying I never got one, all right? None, ever. But I had a friend who got them every time she placed an order. To me, it made no difference. But for her, it was a great source of pride because she worked hard to get that. The strength of C personalities, they're very analytical. They're usually incredibly smart, self-sacrificing, idealistic, high-quality work, orderly, organized, logical, persistent, and it goes on and on. There's just so many great things. They're a deep thinker. They like data. They finish what they start. They're not, and they're serious, okay? The obstacles, that they can be a little moody, sometimes critical, oftentimes critical. We see it as critical, but if you really know and understand what a C personality is, it's not about being critical of you. They just feel like if they don't tell you, who will? You know, like your girlfriend that says you got broccoli in your teeth. Just think of that they're saving you instead of they're being a jerk, okay? And they won't tell you you have broccoli in their teeth. It'll be something else. But they can be rigid, socially insecure, legalistic. They overanalyze everything, appear cold and distant. They prefer to be alone, maybe hard to get to know. They're analytical. They're a perfectionist. And they may not be a big picture person. So you can see how as a team, having every one of these personalities on your team makes your team stronger. It makes you better. When you have, if you're a high I and you have a D and an S and a C on your team, they're going to make you better. They're going to make you a stronger person, and they're going to make your business better. Okay, we are supposed to pick out the, I'm guessing C in here.
To our client, promise an arrival time.
Oops.
The last delivery to our client promised an arrival time of 2 p.m. 2:04 is not 2 p.m. I expect excellence from every member of our team, and I'm going to experience that excellence moving forward. Am I right? Very good. Wow, she's so organized. It's gonna save me hours, days. Miller to Ricky Ford's office.
Kim Miller, report to my office.
She hates the reports. 2:04 is not 2 p.m. I expect excellence from everyone. Oh man, I can't afford to lose this job. Okay. Get it together, Kim. You gave her what she wanted. Okay. I mean, take it like an adult. You can do this.
Kim Miller, report to Ricky Ford's
Office immediately. They're awesome. You paged? Kim, I sincerely can't believe the quality of this work. Like, did you do this? Yeah. This is really, really good. I couldn't have done it better myself. Oh, did I miss something? I thought you were gonna fire me. So particular and really no, Kim. Oh, how could I fire the woman that single-handedly saved me days of work and may have set the bar for our department and how we do our reporting? No, I was going to compliment you, thank you, and talk to you about how to teach this to others, how to deliver like this as manager of the department. But our department doesn't have a manager, though. It does now. Congratulations.
So who was the S and who was the C?
She was the S.
Exactly. She was afraid. She was afraid she was going to get fired. She was afraid she didn't like it. And who was the C, who was critical, and of course the boss, okay? And that, it's really important, guys. Do you see the difference? Do you see how that woman made the S feel? She was scared to death. She was sweating bullets before she went in there. That was not her intention, but because she was not aware of how she made other people feel, it, of course, moved into that scenario. Connecting increases your influence in every situation. Would you or would you not agree that when you have a connection with someone, when you have built a relationship with them, when you understand them a little bit, doesn't mean you understand everything that they do, but you get an understanding of them, that you can work better with them and that you can have a better relationship with them? Yep, I agree with that. Amazon Echo, iPhone, Siri, all of those, you can ask a question and tell it to do something, set an appointment, set an alarm. They do a great job. They respond back to us. And no matter what you ask, their tone is always the same, right? You might think, well, that's perfect. It's the same consistent response all the time. Yes, it is. But it's from a machine. So a person is never going to be like that. Always exactly the same. But when humans connect and communicate, we need to be that, humans. We need to treat people with the platinum rule. I'm sure you've heard of the golden rule. Well, treating everyone like you'd be treated. But the platinum rule is to treat others the way they would like to be treated. Wouldn't it be great if people worried about how you would like to be treated? And we can start that by doing it first. What is the purpose of communication? Communication is for many reasons, and the main one is to influence, motivate, express feelings, and inform. Isn't that what we do in everything in Mary Kay? We influence, we motivate, we express how we love the product, and we inform them about what it is we're doing. The person that communicates must communicate properly for their message and our intent to be accepted. Unless we do it successfully, then the communication never really happened. Mary Kay always talked to us about this. Mary Kay always said, put your eyes on them. Don't think about yourself. Focus forward on them. Put the headlight on, the flounder light on, and focus on them so that you are concerned about what they're getting and not about what you're giving. And if you understand that and you understand their communication language, then it always keeps that platinum rule on the forefront, so you can treat people the way they want to be treated, not the way that you want to be treated. If you are communicating with a D personality, you need to be brief. You need to be direct. You need to get to the point and leave. Any Ds agree with that? It's like, don't take all day. Ask what, not how questions. Focus on results. Don't ramble, and discuss a problem and its effect as it affects the outcome. Those are the things that a D is looking for. That's how they want to be communicated with. So if you are working in a selling appointment or you're doing a recruiting appointment and you're dealing with somebody that you believe has that tendency, then you need to be able to be direct and be on point. Same thing when you're doing sales. You've got to be direct and be on point. They want to know, what will it do? How fast can it happen? And how quickly can I get where I'm going? They do not want to read every little detail and go through everything. An I wants to talk, okay? So you can't do all the talking. You can't ignore their ideas. You got to allow a little bit of time. If you're going to go do a delivery to somebody who is a talker or an I, you know you've got to have an extra half an hour. If you're going to go do a delivery to a D, you can drop it off. Your stuff is in here. I already got your check. It's done. There's a goodie in there for you. 5 minutes. An I is going to take extra time. You always have to follow up with details in writing when you're dealing with an I. 10-minute discussions are better than 40 minutes because the attention span is so short. Communicating with an S. Everything has to be in a friendly tone. Show interest in them as a person. Don't be aggressive. Minimize the potential for confrontation. Give the definition to the goal and everyone's role in it. And S wants to be a part of the team. They want to feel like they're doing this together. Give them a time to adjust to any changes. An S is one that's not going to like that you change the date and the time of the meeting and that you're not working in the same place anymore and that things aren't going to be the same. And so you got to give them a time to adjust to that. A C, you need every detail. You have to have facts. You got to be precise. You got to be specific, and you got to be patient because you're going to have to answer lots of questions. As I'm going through this, can you each think of somebody in your life that has all of those things that you can think of? You're like, oh my gosh, that's so-and-so. This is so-and-so. Yes, maybe? Okay. To build effective relationships, we have to create a favorable environment that is personable, agreeable, genuine interest, provide them with clarification, answer how, present non-threatening in a manner, be patient with timelines as they are thorough and conscientious. Clearly define goals, procedures, and their role in an overall plan. Explain any changes in advance and give them time to adjust. She's a precisionist. She's a DO. Do not be overly pushy, aggressive, or demanding, too confrontational, make sweeping or sudden changes, or expect them to make decisions without all the facts. They can't handle it. Okay? And that's just a sample of different personality styles. What is your style? Just like we looked at this earlier and we went through it, learning what your style is, learning how you work with people, learning what your greatest qualities are, what your biggest obstacles are, so that you can control you and that you can be others focused, giving them that platinum service, which is just letting them be them and you taking a step back. Mary Kay always used to say that it is our job to be a little bit uncomfortable to make others around us comfortable. And I think this was Mary Kay's training long before it was John Maxwell's training, that it's really about making them feel important and making them feel validated so that when they're with you, they don't feel like you're selling to them. They don't feel like you're trying to move them in some way or manipulate them, but they feel like you are on their team, that you care about them personally. And by doing that, you are communicating with them in the manner that they want to be communicated with. We can learn to expect things. I mean, we're looking at this again, and of course we expect a wild animal. But as we learn to know what different personality styles are, when somebody is critical, and we know that they're that C personality, it's just because they want to raise the bar. If we assume that they want good things and that they're there to help us, when they give us a sheet of paper back with all of our little mistakes highlighted in red, we won't be offended. We can say, thank you, you're making me look better. I would never want to put something out that would not be as professional as I could be. And instead of taking offense to it, we can be grateful for that. When somebody else, tells you to hurry up and get it done and they got to go, that's not personal. It's just because they want you to get done so that they can move on. And so as we learn those things and begin to work with people on a deeper level, if you know a lot about your personality, then that's awesome. And you can begin to learn about other people's and learn how you can communicate with them better. What is it that they need? This is just a little surface, kind of scratch on the surface for that. And of course, there's a lot of things that we can dig into a whole lot deeper. But finding out who you are and how to communicate with others, making those communications rich and healthy will make you a more professional businesswoman. It will make you a better recruiter. It will make you better in sales. It will make you a better communicator with your children, with your family, with your spouse. And as we learn to do those things, you really, truly are getting a more substantial life that is peaceful. Even if we're a big I and we love to have a great time, we still like things to be peaceful. And so learning how to control our great qualities and the things that are not so great, and then being able to use that to help other people be their best is really what learning what your personality style is all about. And when we do take control of that, then we're no longer letting our natural bent control us. We are just knowing that that's how we're made and that we can actually control it. So do you guys have some questions, things you'd like to know? I've been doing this a while, but I've never done this presentation quite like that. So I'd love to answer any questions that you might have and how it pertains to your business. Learning to be able to, run with who you are and pick up on how to be a better communicator with other people.
Nancy,
Yeah.
this
Hey, girl.
was absolutely amazing. And actually explained it in a different way than I've ever heard it before. And it really simplified it. I think that, as everyone, if you're new to the DISC and as you learn more about it and embrace it and know who you are and, wait just a second. I'm getting a call. Okay, let me decline that. And as you know who you are and how to recognize other personalities, it really makes you better at your job as a Mary Kay consultant. When you're in front of someone sharing the product and when you're in front of someone sharing the business. And so I hope that everyone recognizes what an amazing tool this is.
Okay, Brianna?
What is the greatest advice that you can give as to sharpen this skill? Because Christy is an amazing leader and great coach, and so we've been learning about DISC probably since I've known her, but I don't feel like I've ever taken the time to really invest in getting more knowledgeable or training that up. And when I think about it, I'm just kind of at a loss because it's I understand the different personality types, but I don't really know what exactly to do with the information or to be proactive, because now I'm thinking back, when I shared the business this past weekend, I'm just I probably did not take into consideration this person's personality at all.
Well, how would you, let me ask a question. How would you, if you're going to do, believe me, I've done so many marketings and I was just like a bulldozer, but it's okay. I believe who's meant to be on your team will be, and it's okay. What questions do you ask to try to find out a little bit about that personality before you talk to them or as you talk to them?
So a lot of my interviews, we kind of just, talk about ourselves, talk about I just get to know them for a while. My coffee days probably be lasting way too long. I just be hearing a whole lot, but just, finding out what they've got going on in their life, what's important, I ask them, what intrigued them the most about the opportunity, how do they see that benefiting their life? And where do they see themselves going with that? And so the girl that I just talked to, she was what I like about it is I can have that forever. Like, this is something that can be in my life for the rest of my life. And even though like right now she's not like trying to be a director because she doesn't know what that is, but she wants to have a dance studio and she wants to have steady income. But like, we did the weekly plan sheet. Actually, I even talked to her about it, and she came with one like made on the computer. And so we,
What does that
like,
tell you?
yeah,
What does that tell you about her when she brought a weekly plan sheet done on the computer?
is that on the D or the C side?
Well, which one is analytical, organized, detailed, color coordinated? There you go. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a C personality, because I would have never even been able to figure out on the computer how to color coordinate it. Okay. I still use magic markers.
I just bought some highlighters. So I brought her one, and she like took it so quick and was like, all right, like just went to town.
She might be a DC because of the way that she grabbed it so quickly and then ran with it. These are the questions that I find help me a whole lot. I always ask them, just tell me a little bit about yourself. If they start saying, I'm married, I have 4 children, my oldest one is 24, and he da-da-da-da-da, and then my next one is 22, and da-da-da-da-da, and then my 18-year-old, and let me tell you, you know, we had such a hard time when they were younger, and blah, 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 blah. That is an S, okay? Never got around to her at all. She was talking about her kids, her husband. That's an S. It's all about their family. So when you say, ask, please tell me a little something about yourself, that's what they're going to respond. Then the I, watch out, when she responds, she's like, in high school, I was a cheerleader, and then I was the homecoming queen, and I wore this beautiful dress, and I got to wear this red Corvette, and we ran around the football field, and you might as well have an hour or two because it's going to take a while, all right? Then your D personality is going to say, well, I am the vice president at such and such a place, and I have 14 employees that work directly under me. And then under them, we have, you know, 3 more layers, and they all are responsible to me, but I'm the supervisor over the the top layer. And so they're going to tell you about what they've done and who they are and what their success is. And then when you ask a C personality, you know, tell me a little bit about yourself. If the C is the most prominent, they're going to say, well, tell me what it is you want to know. Okay? Go ahead, Gracie.
Oh.
There you go. You're muted. Go ahead.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Well, then, knowing which personality that you're working with or is in front of you, how do you tailor, say, the business plan, you know, if you're trying to introduce it to them?
Okay. Well, what personality type are you wanting to share with? Who do you think you're sharing with? Just give me an example.
Well, say if you're dealing with a D.
A D personality, they want to know how quickly they can get to national, how much money are they going to make, what is it going to take, when can they expect to, you know, I mean, they don't mind the work, but they want to know how fast can I move and what can I do. Okay, if we talk to a D about, okay, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to set up your website. And then we're going to order your business cards. Okay, they are done, right? You just say, okay, let's order your business card, and you just do it. Because they're sitting right there with their credit card and they're ready to go. They don't want to waste time with all of that stuff. It's like, let's move, okay? Is that how you feel?
Huh?
Isn't that your personality? Like, let's get it done?
Well, actually, when I joined the business, yes, that's exactly what happened.
Okay. And so
I wanted it, so.
Because an S or an I is going to, you know, spend a lot of time doing it. That D personality is, let's get this done. Let's get the show on the road. And so you need to talk about those things, how quickly they can make money, how quickly they can move forward. You will lose a D personality if you do not treat them with great expectations and a high level of success. You know, I mean, if I talk to a D, like you might talk to an S that wants to take it slow, the D is going to be gone before you ever get around to doing anything. So we can't treat everyone the same.
That's true.
And, you know, an S, when you're saying, how do you tailor it? An S is going to want to know, how can this work around my family? How can I be at all my kids' school events and still work this business? How can I work full time, take care of my kids, and still have a Mary Kay business? It's all got to be about that. Okay, and it has to be fun. We're going to have a great time. We're going to go to seminar. We're going to do this. We're going to go out to lunch, and we're going to make money as we go. And we're going to, you know what I mean? They have to have fun. You have to promote all of the things that they're going to love about it, along with the work that goes with it. You have to keep them grounded, okay? But they want to know about the fun. They want to know about the Star Consultant program. They want to see the prizes. They want to know about the cruise, and they want to know how they can win and how they can go across stage, and they want to see your pictures and your diamonds and all of that, and that's exciting to them. Or if you did all of that with a dude, they'd be like, oh, I don't care. I'll go buy that. So we just have to be aware that just what our personality is. I mean, I'm an I, so I want to show you everything and tell you all about it, and I want to have fun, and let's have coffee and cookies, but we can't do that. We have to fine tune our sharing. And you know, when we're dealing with people, I think it's important, especially if you're an I, that we keep that tone down, because when you're a high I, people can think you're dating them. You know what I mean? Like, let's go have coffee and let's go do this. It's like, no, we're business partners. We don't need to be so social all the time. Because an I will drain you if you don't keep them on track. Okay? Did that help at all, Brianna?
It sure did. Thank you.
Did it help you at all? Did that answer your question?
It did, yes. Thank you.
Anyone else? Anything? Okay. I would just encourage you guys, if you want to dig in and learn more, I do have a personality test that you can take. It is going to break it down, not just so simply DISC, but it's going to give your numbers of your height of D, high of S, C, all of that. And I think really the most important thing that you can do, which is your next step, is you can actually get, you know, the book on this. We can do another session on it and really talk about how we take who we are. If you clearly know who you are, you know, if you know that you're an ISD or a DIS or whatever, then you know where your strengths are. And I think for me, the biggest key was when I learned where my obstacles were, because I know what personality I am and I know how I can be. And so when I realized that, it makes me think before I speak, it makes me have a plan before I share, and it makes me follow up with people differently, because somebody with an I personality needs more follow-up than a D personality. But if we overwhelm them, then we can shut them down. And so it's really important that we are aware of how people need to be trained. And S needs detail, step by step by step. They want you to, you know, take them through one step, second step, third step, fourth step. An I is probably going to do it all at one time and make a mess and have a good time doing it, but they'll get it done eventually. And the C is going to have their weekly plan sheet already organized, really detailed. But some of the problems with the S and the C is that we have a hard time getting to work. We do a lot of organization and a lot of planning, and everything looks really pretty, but we don't get to work. The I will get to work, but when it's not fun anymore, then they get tired and then they don't want to do it. And so, and then the D, of course, is going to move quickly, and they're going to go through, they're going to come through to the other side, and they will go over, through, under, whatever it takes to get there. And so a D personality has to learn to stop and smell the roses. They have to enjoy the company of that I or that S or that C and appreciate them for who they are, rather than what's wrong with you, you're not like me. So we have to temper ourselves as well as be aware of what other people need and want from us. As a leader, whether you're leading a team of you or and another, or as a director, we have to be the leader they need us to be, or we're not leading them. And so we need to be aware. And just because you are one personality and they're a stronger personality doesn't mean you're not the leader. You're just allowing them to grow where they are. Awesome.
It's very good. Did you guys learn a lot today?
They look tired.
I know.
I think everybody's tired. It's been a full day.
Yeah, it's a lot of information. And, you know, 17 years in, I feel like I'm still learning about the personality styles. And luckily, my husband knows a lot about personality styles too. So I'll say, I think she's, you know, an SC. And he's like, well, I don't know. I was picking up on this or that. And this is what I think you need to do next with her. So it's fun to get the people who you live with involved in knowing the different personality styles too, so that you can have those conversations and know who you're living with and how to deal with them as well. So, but I love this training, Nancy, and maybe we do want to have, you know, another session that's separate from pace setters to go a little dig a little deeper in this.
And there's a lot that we can do. We can be real specific and focus it on our sharing appointments and on closing, because I think those are the two places that personality styles really matter. Individual closing and the sharing the opportunity. And, you know, we were actually looking at the videos earlier that we use for marketing. And that is just such amazing different personality styles in and amongst those. And the more you understand, then as you send that invitation for them to do a training call, you're sending them a video that's going to meet them where they're at. And so I feel like at every level, the more we dig into this, the better we become being a businesswoman and a leader. And I had not done a lot of digging deep into this until I got involved with John Maxwell, but I have found that this is probably the most important thing that I've learned, because it's made me really aware of me.
Yes.
And the more aware I am, then the better I am with others.
So would you all like another, like something to focus on closing people, talking, okay, I'm seeing a lot of yeses. Okay. Well, Nancy and I will definitely work on that. And that would be separate from the pace setters that we're doing right now, but we'll work on that and
we could do that.
Making that happen. So, and next week we will be talking about sharing the business opportunity. So I feel like this kind of goes hand in hand. And Nancy, if they wanted to go online to do their own personality testing through John Maxwell.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Will you send me a link on how that could
I'll just send it to you. And then if they want them, they can take the link and do it.
Okay. That sounds great.
Then the info comes back to me.
Okay.
And they get their own sheet.
Okay. That sounds great.
Thank you guys. Thank you for letting me be here. Have a good night.
Thank you so much, Nancy. I appreciate you. Love you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.